This is the weekly roundup here on EAC News Channel, your look back at the past week in the Kingdom of Wonder. A very good evening, I'm Darshana Gauchan. Prime Minister Hun Sen has confirmed that he will hold a telephone meeting with the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, on Tuesday, 1st November. The Prime Minister confirmed during a distribution ceremony of rice seeds and food to around 6,000 flood-affected families in Prevang Province on Sunday, 30th October, that his scheduled telephone meeting with President Zelensky will take place at 4 p.m. in Phnom Penh, which is 11 a.m. in Kyiv. Previously, on Saturday, the Prime Minister had said that he would leave the Ukrainian side to decide the time of the meeting due to the time difference between the two countries. The Prime Minister added that since he is the current ASEAN chairman, Zelensky had expressed a desire to establish a relationship between Ukraine and ASEAN, and had also proposed that the Ukrainian Foreign Minister come and sign a friendship and cooperation agreement in Southeast Asia. The Prime Minister also confirmed that he has invited Russian President Vladimir Putin to attend the ASEAN summit in November, but no response has been received yet from the Russian Federation. Prime Minister Hun Sen has sent a letter of condolences to the President of the Republic of Korea, Yoon Suk-yeol, over the tragic incident that occurred in Itaewon district of Seoul during Halloween festivities on Saturday. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
In his letter, Prime Minister Hun Sen stated, "I am deeply saddened to learn about the tragic accident in Itaewon district in Seoul on the 29th of October 2022, which caused the loss of many lives and many injured. On behalf of the royal government and the people of Cambodia, Prime Minister Hun Sen extended his deepest condolences and sympathy to the President and the people of the Republic of Korea, especially the families of the bereaved." The Prime Minister added, "While Cambodia is with the Republic of Korea at this sorrowful moment, I also wish for the speedy recovery of those who are injured." On Saturday, 29th of October, at least 154 people were crushed to death while the crowd surged in the alleyway in Itaewon District, Seoul in South Korea. An estimated crowd of 100,000 people had flocked to the popular nightlife district for the Halloween festivities. Emergency officials have said that most of the deaths were people in their mid-20s, adding to the death toll could rise as many as still injured and some even in critical condition. At least 26 foreigners from 14 different countries are among the deceased, officials have said. It was the first Halloween event in Seoul in 3 years to be virtually free of COVID-19 restrictions and social distancing. Many of the partygoers were wearing masks and Halloween costumes. Witnesses described the crowd becoming increasingly unruly and agitated as the evening deepened. Chaos erupted just before 10:20 p.m, stampede with police on hand for the event and time struggling to control the crowds, witnesses said. The disaster is the country's deadliest since 2014 ferry sinking that killed 304 people, mainly high school students. The sinking of the Seoul and the criticism of the official response sent shockwaves across South Korea, prompting widespread soul-searching over safety measures in the country that is likely to be renewed in the wake of Saturday's crash. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
A driver caught zigzagging his car down the Phnom Penh-Sihanoukville Expressway last Thursday, 27th October, was summoned by the traffic police, issued a fine, deducted points from his license, educated, and made to sign a contract so that he would not repeat such disorderly driving again. After a video showing a Toyota Prius erratically changing lanes was brought to attention, traffic police identified the vehicle and summoned the owner to pay a fine, have points deducted from his driver's license, and to sign a contract promising to not conduct such road behavior again. The driver was deducted 4 points from his license over 2 charges, for erratically driving in the opposite lane and for having an expired driver's license. The Ministry of Public Works and Transport once again reminds all motorists, regardless of what highway or road they are driving on, to strictly obey the traffic laws and safety principles in order to avoid accidents and maintain safety in travel. They stress that the expressway is divided into 3 lanes one way and 3 lanes another way. Drivers of all types of vehicles must drive on the right lane of the freeway, which is the lane for normal traffic. When overtaking a vehicle, drivers must give the left turn signal for at least 5 seconds before turning into the left lane designated for overtaking. The driver must then give a right turn signal to return to the lane for normal traffic. When there is heavy traffic, drivers can use both lanes. However, heavy vehicles must stay using the right lane for normal traffic. During heavy traffic, Vehicles driving in either the left or right lane will not be overtaking any others, so the vehicles behind must use warning lights. There is also a lane for emergency stops, only to be used when a vehicle is damaged or is facing other problems. The Phnom Penh Scenicville Expressway is open for free trial from 1st to 31st October 2022, making today, Monday, the last day that drivers can use the expressway for free. At a press conference reflecting on the work results of the Ministry of Public Works and Transport over the past 5 years on the morning of 27 October 2022, the Minister of Public Works, Senior Minister Sun Chantol, stated that he would discuss with Chinese companies to continue allowing drivers to use the Phnom Penh Scenicville Expressway for free until the end of the upcoming Water Festival. On Sunday afternoon, Prime Minister Hun Sen visited the boat race event organized on the Basak River Park in Tak Mau City, Kandal Province. EAC News reporter Dekanin has more.
This year, Kandal Province organized a 2-day boat race at Basak River Park, Tak Mai City from 29th to the 30th of October 2022. The boat was organized to attract both national and international visitors to celebrate the Water Festival and enjoy other festivities such as floating lanterns, the Moon Festival, and Aambok, which will take place in the near future. During the event, the Kandal Provincial Administration organized an exhibition selling a variety of local products. At night, there were floating lanterns, fireworks, and a concert featuring well-known Cambodian singers. A total of 92 boats were registered to participate in the race, including 46 boats, 6 rowing boats, 36 international standard boats for men, and 4 international standard boats for women, with a total holding capacity of 4,506 people and 784 security guards. These joyful events were only possible because Cambodia continues to enjoy peace and prosperity in all areas. Dekanin EAC News.
The President of the United States of America, Joe Biden, has confirmed that he will be coming to Cambodia in November to attend the US-ASEAN Summit and the East Asia Summit. According to a press statement issued by the White House on Friday, 28 October, President Biden will be in Phnom Penh from 12th to 13th November to attend the 2 annual summits. The statement pointed out that President Biden will reaffirm the enduring commitment of the United States to Southeast Asia and ASEAN centrality, building on the success of the historic US-ASEAN Special Summit in Washington, D.C. earlier this year. While in Cambodia, the U.S. President is also expected to underscore the importance of U.S.-ASEAN cooperation in ensuring security and prosperity in the region and the well-being of the combined 1 billion people in the United States and ASEAN. As the 2022 ASEAN chair, Cambodia will be hosting the 40th and 41st ASEAN summits and related summits from 8th to 13th November. Prime Minister Hun Sen has apologized to the residents of Phnom Penh as Cambodia gears up to host the ASEAN summit next week. The summit will likely cause disruptions of normal traffic as there will be roadblocks when delegations of foreign countries arrive. EAC News reporter Dekanin has more.
Speaking at the graduation ceremony for students of the Royal University of Law and Economics on Tuesday morning, 1st of November, Prime Minister Hun Sen stated that some roads will be closed to ensure safety and avoid traffic jams in the city.
The
Prime Minister stressed that Cambodia's reputation is on the line when hosting such major events, so he hopes that the people will understand. The ASEAN Summit will be held from the 10th to the 13th of November in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Dekanin EAC News.
Prime Minister Hun Sen has said that Victory Day on 7th January is not just a victory for the Cambodian People's Party, but a victory for all Cambodian people from the genocidal regime of Pol Pot. Speaking at the graduation ceremony for students of the Royal University of Law and Economics on Tuesday morning, the Prime Minister said that this victory helped the Cambodian people overcome the killings of the Khmer Rouge. He said that if this victory had happened only 3 months later, many more Cambodians would have died. The Prime Minister also noted that young Cambodians are lucky to be living in this current time of peace, when the country has the opportunity to develop itself and provide numerous opportunities for students to study. During the Khmer Rouge, the Prime Minister fled to Vietnam to seek help in overthrowing the ruthless regime, unable to continue watching the massacre of Cambodians. Victory was finally achieved on 7 January 1979. It is this victory that saved the Cambodian people from being killed any further and has enabled Cambodia to develop and be as peaceful as it is today. Starting from 7 a.m. on Tuesday, 1st November 2022, the Phnom Penh-Sihanoukville Expressway will no longer be free of charge. All high-speed vehicles will, however, receive a 20% discount for the first year of its operations, with the payment based on distance traveled. EAC News reporter Dekanin has the full details.
For motorcycles with a cylinder capacity of 500cc or more, family cars with no more than 7 seats, and trucks with a load lighter than 2 tons, the cost of using the expressway will be discounted to 6.4 cents per kilometer per vehicle, where it would normally cost 8 cents per kilometer. For passengers' cars that have 8 to 19 seats and trucks carrying loads weighing 2 to 5 tons, the discounted price is 12.8 cents per kilometer, while the original price is 16 cents per kilometer. For trucks between 10 to 20 tons, the discounted price of 25.6 cents per kilometer, while the original price is 32 cents per kilometer. Trucks carrying more than 20 tons, including containers, will receive a discounted price of 32 cents per kilometer, while the original price is 40 cents per kilometer. The fees applicable for each vehicle will be posted at all information booths at expressway entrances. All vehicles must have identification plates, must be inspected for technical specifications, and have other required legal documentation. Dekanin, EAC News.
The spokesperson of the Ministry of Environment, Net Piektra, has said that Cambodia is a leading country in the fight against climate change, achieved through actively participating in the implementation of various climate change-related conventions and progress made on environmental protection. Speaking at the press conference to summarize the ministry's work results in 2022 and set the work direction for 2023 on Monday, spokesperson Net Piektra said that Cambodia has actively participated in carrying out various activities in line with conventions on combating climate change and made much progress on work related to environmental protection, thus making Cambodia a leading figure in this field. He said, Cambodia's reputation on the international stage within the framework of combating climate change places the country at the forefront. He said that Cambodia is not only a leading country in the fight against climate change, but also has a clear plan ahead and specific reports on the progress made in tackling environmental issues. He said, every time the United Nations has set the stage for planning, Cambodia has always been at the forefront of planning and providing a report that has been accepted as real. The spokesperson highlighted that the Ministry of Environment is currently working with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation to increase environmental awareness at a time when many countries around the world are facing the effects of climate change. He said that the Royal Government of Cambodia, as the chair of ASEAN in 2022, has established a vision to make the ASEAN region green and resistant to climate change through the adoption of clean green energy sources and other related activities. Some of the main effects of climate change include an increase in natural disasters and abnormal weather phenomena. Natural disasters that have been occurring more frequently in the world include hurricanes, unseasonal heavy rains, droughts, floods, abnormal temperatures, and wildfires caused by extreme heat. In the 20 years between 2000 and 2019, the number of natural disasters worldwide increased by 83%, compared to the 20 years between 1980 and 1999, according to the United Nations. This includes an increase of floods by 134% and an increase of natural disasters caused by abnormal temperatures by 232%.
If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of our platforms and channels. The EAC News app, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eacnews.asia. Join me and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favorite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
The Ministry of Water Resources and Meteorology has stated that from 2nd to 8th November, 4 provinces, Mondulkiri, Ratanakiri, Previer, and Odarminche, will see temperatures drop down to between 18 to 17 degrees Celsius. This announcement adds that these provinces will have little to no rain during this period. EAC News reporter Dekanin has more details.
The drop in temperature is due to high atmospheric pressure coming from China and northeasterly winds hitting Cambodia. The central lowlands will have a minimum temperature of 21 to 23 degrees and a maximum temperature of 31 to 33 degrees Celsius. In the central lowlands, there will be no rain, but if there is, it will be very little. In the highlands, the minimum temperature will be 20 to 22 degrees and the maximum temperature will be 30 to 32 degrees Celsius with no rain in the area. From the 2nd to the 4th of November, the weather will be cool in the morning in some provinces such as Mondulkiri, Ratanakiri, Previer, and Odarminche, with a minimum temperature of 17 to 18 degrees. In the coastal areas, the minimum temperature will reach 21 to 23 degrees and the maximum temperature will reach 31 to 33 degrees Celsius with little to no rain. The ministry calls on people to be more vigilant during this upcoming period of colder weather. Dekanin, EAC News.
Prime Minister Hun Sen has accepted an invitation from President Volodymyr Zelensky to visit Ukraine in the near future. The Prime Minister accepted the invitation during a telephone conversation with the President of Ukraine on Tuesday afternoon, according to a press release issued by the Cambodian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. During the call, the Prime Minister also mentioned that the last time he had visited Ukraine was in 1981. Russia launched an invasion of Ukraine on 24th February earlier this year, which it called a special military operation and which Russian President Vladimir Putin justified by saying that there was an urgent need for Russia to demilitarize Ukraine in order to protect the Donbas Republic and ensure that Russia will not be under NATO threat from Ukrainian territory. Over 8 months have passed since the war began. The invasion has caused the deaths of tens of thousands in both Ukraine and Russia and triggered a major refugee crisis in Europe, the largest since World War II. According to the UNHCR, more than 7 million refugees from Ukraine have been recorded across Europe, with over 6 million internally displaced. Following the start of the invasion, a wave of sanctions have been placed on Russia and its ally Belarus. The combined effect of the war and sanctions has severely impacted economies around the world and caused global food shortages. Cambodia has been a staunch opponent of Russian aggression, voting against the invasion and demanding that Russia withdraw its troops from Ukraine. However, Cambodia has also expressed that it does not support sanctions placed against Russia, as these sanctions cause widespread losses to all. The Prime Minister of Cambodia has expressed his condolences to the President of Ukraine for the loss of lives caused by the war in the country. Prime Minister Hun Sen held a telephone meeting with President Volodymyr Zelensky on Tuesday afternoon, where he told the Ukrainian president that no war can end with war. EAC News reporter Dekanin has more.
According to a press release issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Prime Minister re-emphasized the importance of peaceful negotiations and resolutions in the Ukraine war during his call with President Zelensky. He spoke about Cambodia's experience with war and urged Ukraine and Russia to hold talks to find a solution. Prime Minister Hun Sen reiterated the importance of peaceful negotiations and peaceful resolution and hoped that all parties concerned will strive for a comprehensive solution to end the war in Ukraine so that Ukraine can regain peace, stability, territorial integrity, and development, the statement said. In response, President Zelensky expressed his appreciation and gratitude for Cambodia's support, co-sponsorship of the United Nations General Assembly resolutions, and firm position on the war in Ukraine. Prime Minister Hun Sen also showed concern over recent attacks on Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, as well as other cities in the country, which have caused many deaths, injuries, and severe damage to civilian infrastructure, as well as serious energy and food crisis, along with rising inflation all over the world. The Prime Minister spoke of the suffering that Cambodia also went through during its period of war and emphasized that it was through this experience that he gained a personal understanding that war cannot be ended by war. Regarding bilateral relations between Cambodia and Ukraine, Prime Minister Hun Sen requested that the two countries appoint and exchange ambassadors with each other, to which President Zelensky responded to very positively. At the end of the call, President Zelensky invited Prime Minister Hun Sen to pay an official visit to Ukraine at a suitable time in the near future, which the Prime Minister accepted. President Zelensky also posted a tweet on his official Twitter account after the telephone meeting, stated that he's spoken with Prime Minister Hun Sen and thanked Cambodia as the ASEAN chair for supporting Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The president also assured that Ukraine will remain a guarantor of food security for ASEAN countries. Rekanin, EAC News.
Prime Minister Hun Sen has told the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, that Cambodia will send D-miners to help train the country that is suffering from war. EAC News reporter Pon Sotirot has more.
In a telephone meeting with the Ukrainian president on Tuesday afternoon, Prime Minister Hun Sen stated that in cooperation with Japan, Cambodia is ready to send Cambodian deminers to help train Ukrainian deminers in a timely manner. In response, President Zelensky sang and welcomed Cambodia for its intentions to provide demining assistance. As a country that has been through decades of wars, Cambodia can now be considered a country that specializes in demining and unexploded ordnance. Cambodia plans to eliminate all mines by 2025. Pon Sotirot, EACU.
The Prime Minister of Cambodia has announced that the Cambodia-Korea Free Trade Agreement will enter into force on 1 December 2022. This announcement was made by the Prime Minister during the high-level forum for the occasion of the 10th anniversary of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement of ASEAN on Wednesday morning. Signed on 26 October 2021 by the Minister of Commerce Pan So-sak and the Minister of Commerce of the Republic of Korea Yeo Han-koo, Cambodia expects the Cambodia-Korea Free Trade Agreement to boost exports, increase the GDP and employment, which will help revive the economy from the effects of COVID-19. This agreement will be a major driving force in boosting trade and investment flows between Cambodia and South Korea with mutual benefits, and will especially help to accelerate the economic recovery of the two countries after the severe impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. In addition, the Free Trade Agreement will contribute to the promotion of long-term partnerships, will strengthen economic partnerships and market access, including the export of Cambodian products to South Korea, will allow for the transfer of technology, knowledge, and skills from South Korea and abroad, and will create new jobs. Filipino fashion designer Rainier Abelio launched his latest collection entitled Spectrum Gala, A Feast for Crows, to commemorate the 8th anniversary of his fashion label Armada. EAC News reporter Dekanin attended the special gala event to celebrate Armada's 8 years in the business.
The fashion show gala event, launching the new collection, was a feast for the senses, attended by numerous designers, models, celebrities, influencers, and Abellio's dearest friends to mark a night down memory lane, commemorating the brand's journey from its conception until now. The new collection pays homage to past collections with tweaks made to fit current and future trends, and is like imagining a dysfunctional family reunion that makes up the Armada family as a whole. The gala was presented by 1664 Blanc in partnership with Tribe Phnom Penh and AB Studio and directed by fellow Filipino fashion designer Don Protasio. Abellio said he has spent most of his life invested in this brand to the point where he now wholeheartedly equates the brand to his own identity. The show had everything that he wanted to present, from the visuals to the music, featuring a ballet performance by Svetlana Epifanova, a live performance of Think of Me by Kimberly Hugo, the theme song from his favorite movie Schindler's List, the soundtrack of his current favorite TV show House of the Dragons, and spoken verse from Revelations.
Think of me waking silence and beside, imagine me once in a while, please promise me you will try me, recall those days, look back on all those days, think of the things we never do.
I think that movie, there's no other movie that shows, how it is to be a human in a very inhumane environment. It gave you hope in a society with some good and kindness still exists amongst the chaos. My Schindler's List is a reverse, actually, because in the movie, this guy put together a list of people that he will save. Yeah. But then for my case, it's a reverse. I have a list of people that actually saved me.
The majority of the guest list was made up of Bellio's closest friends who have been there for him during his most difficult times. Yulia Kuri has known Abellio for over a decade, ever since he first arrived in Cambodia and even before he launched his brand. He remembered going to see his first fashion and immediately falling in love with his aesthetic.
My all-time favorite is a very first look of a very first fashion show, when the look where the model comes in with a ship on his head, and I think it kind of defines who Ray is. Very bold, doesn't feel obliged to follow any rules, has made up his own rules, and also extremely dramatic in everything he does. And so that's why I think, as a friend, as a designer, as a creative, that's what you look for somebody who doesn't afraid to make a statement.
Abellio agreed that the ship has now become something of a sigil for the brand and was proudly featured on the runway again for A Feast for Crow. Many other guests were also fellow designers, one of whom was Tiffany Doce, the designer for the brand Riviere. She said she has been a big fan of Armada since she moved to Cambodia from France about 2 years ago, and what kept drawing her back to fashion show after fashion show was the strong storytelling element of each new collection.
Because every collection is unique. It's a different story, and every design is always amazing and very interesting to details and the story, the concept about the collection. Every time it's always amazing.
After watching the show, Shasnay Suleimanova said she had to hold back tears because fashion is so important to her, and she was so inspired by what Abellio had achieved. She said she especially loved seeing the theatrical elements embedded in the fashion show, and said she is so thankful to Abellio for being her inspiration.
He created the art pieces, like masterpieces. It's real art in the fashion. But when you wear it, you really feel powerful. You feel like Armada Army. He is the inspiration for me. He is the person who always, inspire me, who always encourage me and tell what I can improve, how can I improve, first of all. That's why he's like my fashion father, I could say, in Cambodia.
Matthew, a model in the fashion show, said he only started modeling about a year ago, so when he first heard about the unique concept of this runway, he was nervous and did not think he could deliver. However, he worked hard to study references to make sure that he would do the show properly and meet expectations. He added that he has always been a fan of Armada, but was especially impressed by how Abellio gave the models freedom to show off the clothes in their own style and not simply walk down the runway.
Not only the collection itself is very impressive, but also he allows the model to really, bring out their inner actors and actresses on the runway. We're not just walking, we're literally performing on the runway. So that's cool. Yeah.
Abellio said he knows that when people think of Armada, they think of drama. With spoken words from Revelations, he said he wants to make sure that everyone understands that people who wear Armada are not wallflowers.
Of course, we're about drama, we're about tailoring, we're about making a statement. Like, people who wears Armada don't sit in the corner and expect that she will just melt with the background. People who's wearing Armada is always those people who are like, I want to be noticed, I want to show off. And because for me, fashion has two functions. It's either to hide and to show. And for my case, Armada is to show.
The after party included a sneak peek performance of local singer Sam Rocker's latest album and a set by DJ Brandon. As to what's next for Abellio, he said he will try to first get a week's sleep before continuing on his next project, but he teased that his favorite collection is still yet to come. Spectrum Gala, A Feast for Crows, is nothing short of spectacular Armada drama. Everyone who came here got everything that they wanted and more. If you want to know more about Armada, you can always check out their website and also their store at the factory Phnom Penh. I'm Dekanin, EAC News, Tribe Hotel, Phnom Penh.
Prime Minister Hun Sen has stated that he highly appreciates the past and ongoing efforts made by the ACMECS and CLMV countries to enhance the exchange of tourist flow and promote cooperation in attracting tourists from third countries under the 5 countries, 1 destination and 4 countries, 1 destination campaigns. Delivering the welcome message for the opening of the 5th ACMECS and the 6th CLMV Tourism Ministers meetings on Thursday in Siem Reap Province, Prime Minister Hun Sen stated that Cambodia is proud to have hosted many international meetings since the reopening of the country in late 2021. He expressed his sincere thanks to all friendly countries who have always supported Cambodia's roles in regional and international endeavors, including as the 2022 ASEAN chair. The Prime Minister stated that these tourism meetings show strong regional solidarity and offer a special opportunity for ACMECS and CLMV tourism leaders to assess the impacts of COVID-19 on the tourism sector in order to set out appropriate strategies for recovery and to enhance more cooperation. He added that the past 2 years of the COVID-19 crisis have made it clear that the role of the tourism sector is more relevant in supporting economic growth and national progress, particularly its role in strengthening relations, solidarity, and friendship between the countries in the region. Prime Minister Hun Sen also offered 4 considerations for the tourism meetings: that ACMECS and CLMV should further enhance cooperation on tourism product diversification in response to the changing post-COVID-19 tourism trends; that ACMECS and CLMV countries, in the context of digitalization, should promote more exchange of experiences on tourism's digital transformation; that ACMES and CLMV should further focus on promoting the ACMECS intra-traveler and CLMV intra-traveler, and emphasize more air, land, and water connectivity; and in support of the establishment of an ACMECS and CLMV tourism institutional mechanism in the form of a secretariat or other entity which Cambodia would be willing to host. The Aye Yawada Chao Phraya Mekong Economic Cooperation Strategy, or ACMECS, is a cooperation framework between Cambodia, Laos PDR, Myanmar, Thailand, and Vietnam, aiming to utilize member countries' diverse strengths and to promote balanced development in the sub-region. The Cambodia, Laos PDR, Myanmar, and Vietnam, or CLMV, comprise of the newest, lowest income, and formerly closed economies of ASEAN. Cambodian Jiu-Jitsu champion Jessa Khan won a gold medal at the Jiu-Jitsu World Championship in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, after defeating Spain's Matthews Martin Naomi in the final. EAC News reporter Dekanin has the story.
With this victory, Prime Minister Hun Sen congratulated the athlete through a post made on his official social media page. He wrote, "Congratulations to the champion, Khan Jessa, who won the gold medal in the Jiu-Jitsu World Championship in the United Arab Emirates." Jessa Khan took part in the 52-kilogram Jiu-Jitsu event and defeated Baluyot Ashley Durant of the Philippines in the second round, Tram Maita of the United Arab Emirates in the third round, and Aronov Nina of Israel in the semifinals yesterday. Reaching the finals, the multi-ethnic Khmer-American Mexican athlete remained strong. Using a special tactic to trap Spain's Matthews Martin Naomi for 6 minutes, the judges awarded the victory to the 21-year-old athlete, winning the gold medal in the 2022 Jiu-Jitsu World Championship for Cambodia. Dekanin, EAC News.
The Director General of the Cambodian Mine Action Center, Heng Ratana, has confirmed that Cambodia plans to send demining experts to train Ukrainian deminers in early December 2022. Speaking with EAC News over the phone on Thursday morning, the CMAC Director General confirmed that Cambodia plans to send demining technicians to train 2 groups of Ukrainian deminers. The first group of technicians will leave in early December, and the second group will go in the first quarter of 2023. He said, "We plan to send them in early December, but have not yet set a specific date, which now is something that we must further discuss." He added that the CMAC is working with Japanese partners to ensure the safety of Cambodian deminers in Ukraine. "We send technicians to train people there in Ukraine, but only where it is safe. We do not go to help clear mines in dangerous places. We only go to teach demining skills," he clarified. This important mission is being made after the Prime Minister of Cambodia spoke with the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, over the phone on Tuesday, 1st November, and promised him that Cambodia would send demining technicians to help train deminers in Ukraine. Russia launched an invasion of Ukraine on 24th February early this year, calling it a special military operation. Russian President Vladimir Putin has justified the invasion by saying there was an urgent need for Russia to demilitarize Ukraine in order to protect the Donbas Republic and ensure that Russia will not be under NATO threat from Ukrainian territory. Over 8 months have passed since the war began. The invasion has caused the deaths and injuries of tens of thousands of both Ukrainians and Russians and triggered a major refugee crisis in Europe, the largest since World War II. There's also been severe damage to civilian infrastructure as well as serious energy and food crises along with rising inflation all over the world. At present, ASEAN countries are working hard to help find a peaceful solution in all aspects for Ukraine to regain its peace, stability, territorial integrity, and development. Following the UN Secretary-General's appointment of the new United Nations Resident Coordinator in Cambodia, Joseph Schur of Luxembourg presented his letter of credentials to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Deputy Prime Minister Prak Sakhon, to officially take up his assignment in the country. EAC News reporter Dekanin has the details.
According to a press release issued by the UN office in Cambodia, the newly appointed UN resident coordinator, Joseph Schur, paid a courtesy call to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Deputy Prime Minister Prak Sakhon, on Wednesday. During the meeting, Schur expressed his appreciation for the excellent partnership between the royal government and the UN and discussed future opportunities in the context of the new UN Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework for 2024 to 2028. He also recognized and expressed his appreciation of Cambodia's contributions to UN peacekeeping operations since 2006. The UN resident coordinator was quoted saying he looks forward to collaborating with the royal government and partners in developing the new UN cooperation framework with Cambodia for 2024 to 2028 in support of achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. The United Nations country team in Cambodia consists of more than 20 agencies, funds, and programs. For over 3 decades, the UN in Cambodia has been working closely with the royal government, development partner, civil society, and the people of Cambodia for sustainable development, enhancing resilience, sustaining peace, and promoting human rights in the country. Dekanin, EAC News.
Social media users in Cambodia think local rapper Vanda is changing the way neighboring countries like Thailand perceive Cambodia, through an image of perseverance and dignity, and by being known as an artist that recreates the old into new and expresses his gratitude to his predecessors. EAC News reporter Dekanin has more.
One popular message written by a social media user being circulated online says that Wanda is changing the way people in Thailand think about Cambodia. In Thailand, Wanda is changing the old mindset about Cambodians, said one social media user. He creates a positive image, suppressing negative thoughts about Cambodians in Thai society. This change has directly benefited and helped Cambodian workers living and working in Thailand. In addition, Thais of Khmer origin are more proud of being Khmer, when in the past they felt discredited by the social system. The message further reads, "In Thailand, Vanda's values are very meaningful. He is a symbol of perseverance, wisdom, and dignity, which is how Thai people compare him to their own rappers." He is highly creative, able to create an identity with character and not copy others, and especially, he takes old things and modernizes them, giving respect and honor to his teacher. Recently, a popular website covering all Asian hip-hop news called Hip Hop DX Asia also shared Wanda's most famous song, Time to Rise. This song was notable for its reflection of both development and national heritage, allowing many local and international fans to better recognize Khmer culture and pay attention to the art scene in Cambodia. Hip Hop DX Asia also listed Time to Rise on their list of the best music videos of 2021, showing his global appeal and how he has brought Cambodian hip-hop to the world stage. From the 10th to the 11th of December 2022, Wanda will be playing the Big Mountain Music Festival in Khao Yai, Thailand. The Big Mountain Music Festival is the largest musical concert event in Southeast Asia and is joined by many famous artists in the region. Wanda is the only Cambodian artist who will be participating in this mega concert in Thailand. Dekanin, EAC News.
If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of our platforms and channels. The EAC News app, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eacnews.asia. Join me and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favorite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
Prime Minister Hun Sen has released the first pictures of the special watches made in Cambodia to be gifted to the world leaders and presidents of international organizations attending the 2022 ASEAN Summit next week. In a post made on his official Facebook page on Thursday evening, the Prime Minister stated that these watches were entirely assembled by Cambodian technicians, which shows the country's scientific and technical progress. He wrote, "Earlier, I said that Cambodia has produced 25 watches as souvenirs for the heads of each delegation coming to attend the ASEAN Summit in Cambodia in 2022. This watch is designed by pure Khmer technicians as part of the scientific and technical progress of Cambodia." Speaking at the graduation ceremony for students of Phnom Penh International University on 11th October, Prime Minister Hun Sen announced that he had ordered a local watch manufacturer to make 25 watches to gift the heads of government and presidents of international organizations attending the ASEAN Summit in November. The 2022 ASEAN Summit will take place from 10th to 13th November in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. According to the announcement made by the Prime Minister, he will also be wearing the ASEAN watch himself while chairing the summit. Several heads of government and state and leaders of international institutions from around the world are set to attend the ASEAN Summit in Phnom Penh next week. U.S. President Joe Biden, Chinese Premier Li Keqiang, and UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres are some of the world leaders who have confirmed their attendance. EAC News reporter Dekanin has more details.
Last week, the White House released a statement confirming President Biden's attendance of the ASEAN Summit from the 12th to the 13th of November. The U.S. President will be attending the U.S.-ASEAN Summit and the East Asia Summit and will reaffirm the commitment of the United States to Southeast Asia and ASEAN centrality, building on the success of the U.S.-ASEAN Summit that took place in Washington, D.C. earlier this year. The Chinese embassy in Cambodia also confirmed earlier this week that Premier Li Keqiang will be visiting Cambodia from the 8th to the 13th of November to hold bilateral talks with Prime Minister Hun Sen ahead of the ASEAN Summit as well. The Cambodian Prime Minister also confirmed that he will be holding talks with Premier Li Keqiang on the afternoon of the 9th of November. The Chinese Premier is just one of the few heads of government and state that are paying official visit to Cambodia ahead of the ASEAN Summit, including the Prime Minister of Vietnam and the Sultan of Brunei. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau confirmed on Wednesday that he would be attending the ASEAN Summit in Phnom Penh as well, from the 12th to the 13th of November, during which he will participate in the ASEAN-Canada Commemorative Summit to mark the 45th anniversary of ASEAN-Canada dialogue relations. The UN also confirmed that Secretary General Guterres will be heading to Phnom Penh on the 10th of November, where he will address the ASEAN-US Summit, focusing on regional and global trends, the climate emergency, and the situation in Myanmar. Many more high-level delegations are set to attend the 40th and 41st ASEAN Summit and related summits from the 8th to the 13th of November 2022. Prime Minister Hun Sen has specially prepared 25 watches made in Cambodia to give to the world leaders next week, promoting Cambodia's scientific and technical progress. Additionally, over 1,500 journalists from 31 different countries have registered to cover the summits in Phnom Penh. Dekanin, EAC News.
The royal government of Cambodia has prepared more than 10,000 law enforcement personnel to maintain security, order, and safety during the ASEAN Summit and related meetings to be held next week from 10th to 13th November in Phnom Penh. The royal government of Cambodia has assigned and prepared about 12,000 law enforcement personnel, as well as other means and mechanisms to maintain security and order during the ASEAN Summit and related meetings, including key safety destinations and accommodation. These law enforcement personnel include officers from the National Police Force, the Royal Gendarmerie, and the Royal Cambodian Armed Forces. In total, there are 14 different units and institutions that make up the Phnom Penh Municipal Unity Command. Phnom Penh Capitol Hall spokesperson Ms. Pekadai also confirmed on Thursday, 3rd November, that city decorations to welcome delegates arriving in Phnom Penh for the summit are about 90% complete. He added that the Phnom Penh Municipal Unity Command has also planned and organized the main roads that delegations must pass through, with the highest attention placed on maintaining security in those areas and with security forces already stationed and patrolling those roads from now onwards. The spokesperson also called on residents and businesses of Phnom Penh to be prepared to participate in maintaining security, order, and the environment during the ASEAN Summit, with request for their understanding that delegations will pass through roads people live along and regularly use, likely causing disruptions to daily traffic. It should be noted that this is the third time that Cambodia has hosted the ASEAN Summit and related meetings. The first time in 2002, the second time in 2012, and the third time now in 2022. A Prampi Makara District Administration Working Group member has been suspended for 6 months in connection to a case where violence was used against a scrap cart owner during a visit to organize the traffic order on Street 164 on Thursday. EAC News reporter Dekanin has more details.
According to a press release issued by the Prampi Makara District Administration, a district working group had gone to supervise the traffic order on Street 164 in Sangkat Wilwong at around 3 p.m. on Thursday. In particular, 4 working group members went to organize the street stalls and scrape carts parked in the middle of Street 164, which were not in order. At the time, a scrap cart owner refused to move his cart away from the middle of the road while the working group members tried to move the cart somewhere else. The scrap cart owner refused to listen to instructions and began insulting the working group members, leading to a fight that eventually resulted in violence. After the incident, the district administration called the owner of the scrap cart and sent a team to interrogate him. The owner of the cart apologized and admitted his mistake, and no complaints were filed. Separately, the specific working group member that used violence, named Cham Chan, was educated and punished by the district administration for his mistake by suspending him from his post without pay for 6 months, in accordance with the law and the legal documents in force. Dekanin, EAC News.
Thank you for watching the weekly roundup here on EAC News Channel. For more breaking news and updates, you can check out our website, eacnews.asia, or search EAC News on Telegram, Smart TV, or at your favorite app store. More from the EAC News team on Monday night at 8 p.m. We will see you then.